It is the Jordan Mailata Show, brought to you by Miller Lite. It's Miller Time. Eagles fans, celebrate responsibly. I'm Spike Eskin, along with Eliot Shorr-Parks and the man of the hour.
Please hold the applause.
Jordan Mailata. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm excited to talk about the Phillies.
Yeah. How do you feel? They brought Rob Thompson back. What do you think, man?
Oh, man.
Got a lot of Flyers fans in the house tonight. We
Yeah.
can talk a little hockey.
Yeah.
Talk a little hockey.
Yeah.
I like
You ever
that.
played hockey?
Nope.
Yeah, I can't picture you playing hockey,
Nope.
to be honest.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I'd probably have more athleticism and probably play better.
Do you want to?
Getting checked by you would be no fun.
Yeah. Do you want to start off with a 60-second funny Spike story about hockey?
Let's do it.
Just to loosen the
Oh, this
vibe
is a
little
good
bit
one,
here?
yeah.
So I was in high school, and I switched from public school to the Episcopal Academy in 8th grade. And they didn't have gym class. You had to play a sport. You had to. So I decided to play ice hockey, having never ice skated before in my life.
Nice.
So I rollerbladed. I figured it must be similar. It was similar, except stopping is completely different. So I couldn't stop. So I would just cross-check people when I needed to stop. Eventually, my coach grabbed me by my face and pushed it in. Now, I did get, I believe, a concussion the first game because I went to check a guy and my head went right into the boards. But the next game, Coach Stone grabbed me by the face, slammed it into the back of the glass because I was cross-checking people all the time.
Wow.
So, little lesson, you shouldn't play hockey without learning how to stop first.
And the thing you should know about Spike, too, is he was probably 100 pounds hevier.
I was probably 2 1/4 at
Yeah.
that point. So I was a big fat guy. I looked like Stay Puft Marshmallow.
Wait, how
Man.
old were you?
I don't know, 16?
Fire up. Decent size, yeah.
Yeah, big boy. I was a big boy.
Could
I
have
was a
played
big
rugby.
boy. Yep. So we normally talk to you day after a game. We are 4 days after.
Yeah.
We'll get into the Giants game, of course, but how has obviously your views of the game evolve as time goes on? So can you, I guess, explain where you were on Tuesday compared to where you are today, if it's any different?
On Thursday.
On Thursday.
Thursday,
yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, sorry.
You talking about post-game? What are my thoughts from post-game?
Yeah. I
today's?
mean, looking back on the game, we normally get the instant reaction, and
Yeah.
it's different a few days advanced, I would imagine.
From looking at it now that we've been 4 days,
Yeah.
personally, I just wanted to flush that game out as fast as I could because I don't think I played my best game at all. Played pretty bad, and that's from my perspective. That's just me and how I deal with things. Trying to fix and correct as fast as I can, and it was hard because I watched the film right after the game, and then watched it again on Saturday, and there's only so much you can do until you come in on the Monday because we didn't go in on Friday.
Yep.
And so we come in today and we finally, watched the film to get the corrections. And, I kind of wish we kind of got those corrections right away on the Friday, but, can't control that. And, I think the rest was needed. I think that, sort of the same issues, the issues out of the huddle, breaking the huddle, so we can have more time on the back end to make our calls and snap the ball. I thought the communication was pretty decent. Just execution once again, killing plays, big momentum killers. Putting us behind the sticks early on, putting us in pretty obvious pass downs. So yeah, just one of those games again where once we got things going, I thought we started the game real good. On the ball, just had the right pace.
Had a couple of good Saquon runs very early as well.
Very early. And I think throughout the game we had a few drives there where it was really good collection of plays, and then all it took was one play here and there to put us behind the sticks again, and then we're passing the ball, and so after 4 days, a lot of work to do individually and as a team, but got to look forward to again the opportunity, man. We're very lucky to play this game. Like, we're grown men playing a kids game, and we get to do it for a living. And so, guys are excited to put the pads on again and go to work.
When you say you think you had a bad game, I'm curious, does that for you mean like mental mistakes where you're watching the tape and you're going, all right, I missed this check, or it was a miscommunication? Or do you feel like physically you got beat?
Yeah, listen, the mental mistakes you can correct, but when you're just getting out physical, like, that's just, for me, it's a big no-no. And I cleaned it up towards the end of the game. But, man, it just wasn't my best game physically. Again, Sonny, part of a game where you kind of play passive because you're worried about, like, the way a certain player plays that run or that play that you're trying to execute. So then you don't really beat them to the punch. You're kind of just passive and waiting for them to make a move because they have that edginess where they can go up and under, they can go around the edge, and
So I say this as somebody just watching the game on TV, but it seemed like, from watching it on TV, the Giants' energy level, I hate to, it seemed like they were at a different level of sort of intensity than you guys were. And I know that's hard for me to, but when you're watching it, it felt like that. Did it feel like that to you?
No, it didn't. Okay. It didn't feel like that. Maybe it was just home game.
Yep.
Home game for them. Maybe that's why. Like I said, I thought we strung together some drives there during the game to kind of get us back in it, and then execution errors. And then, starting off backed up. Like, those certainly don't help. So everything adds up. And you just kind of, you got to keep the energy high on the sideline, which I think we did. I don't know I don't watch the TV copy too much.
Well, I think also what could be feeding into that is as they're playing well, they're celebrating and we're not.
Yeah.
So when you're watching it and you see, the Scattaboo and Dart headbutting each other, because they're excited, that there's a reason for them to have energy at that point as opposed to you guys.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Home game for them, Thursday night prime time. I think we were pretty excited too. Energy was there.
Okay.
Kick off all sideline, all day. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what feels different, I guess I can speak for myself, but I also think fans and media is, we have seen such high-level offensive line play from you guys for so many years. And it feels like maybe right now you guys aren't clicking on all cylinders. So maybe, like, when Spike is talking about, seemed like they had more energy, it seems like the team really lives off of the offensive line. I've always said, I thought you guys are like the heartbeat of the team. Your personalities, the offense, all that. And it felt like one of those games where you didn't win at the line of scrimmage, which is so rare to me. Do you agree with that when you rewatch the tape? Is that just my novice eye not knowing what I'm watching, or do you feel like it wasn't?
No, I think there is some credit to that, or there is some merit to that. But I also think execution fuels emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about it week in and week out here that we're just not executing right now, and that's probably a big reason to it. But for this particular game, I honestly thought the rest of the line did great and I did terrible this week. So, but we all have our plays in the game where we just wish we could have that back, especially in the run game. But I think that's just the tale of the tape is execution fuels emotion. It's one of the sayings that we have at work, and right now we're one block away. As tiring as that sounds, it's the damn truth when you watch the tape. We're one block away. And we just need to execute at a high rate. How do you got to focus? You got to focus, man. You got to really want to.
Do you feel like,
there's 4 seconds of want to. Like, I want to execute my job.
Do you feel like that's there from the players? The focus and the want to.
I do. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But I'm only talking about mine.
Oh yeah.
For me, especially from the game that we just played. What I'm going in this week, and what I'm telling myself, what I'm going to practice. How I'm going to go about my business. Be physical. 4 seconds. Have the want to.
Mm-hmm.
Focus. Do your damn job. Simple.
I think it's understandable for fans to think, okay, well, the last time we went to the Super Bowl in the 22 season, didn't have a great year the next year. And then to look at this and to sort of draw the comparison to say that, well, last time we did it, and it's hard to play at the same level 2 consecutive years. That's why there's not a lot of repeat champions. Do you see any similarities to some of the struggles that the team had in 23 to some of the struggles that you're having this year, being similar in that they're the year after going to the Super Bowl?
Honestly, I don't see similarities.
Okay.
I think the detail on the coaching has been like coached at a high level this year. I just think we're doing a bad job of executing. That's just, again, I'm always gonna go to the players. That's just me, because it's a great run against a great look and execution errors.
Yeah, so
they all catch up to you.
I agree with you on the coaching versus execution. It does feel like, though, maybe the majority of fan base does not agree with that. And trust me, they tweet at me all the time, so I'm well aware people are not feeling that. So maybe could you explain, I guess to everyone, like, what makes you feel like the coaching is great? Because you have an insight to that we don't see. Because on the outside, the offense is being called predictable, vanilla. Everybody knows what they're – you have way more information than we do. What makes you confident the coaching is great?
Well, just being there in 23 and hearing the detail that's being coached, being at the practices, that the detail, even in the drills, when they coach the drills, the detail, that's the difference. Detail wasn't there in 23, and I'll happily say that.
Okay.
I'll be honest there. The detail was not there, the technique was not there in 23, and now it is. So I can't relate the two. And for me, that's where I draw it back to the execution on the players' part. When we want to run play, we want to marry it up in the passing game too. So when that look, when we don't run that look well to set up the passing game, everyone's like, oh, well, now it looks like 23. Well, it's just we're not running the ball well.
Yeah.
And that's, at the end of the day, we need to establish the run game up front. And it starts with the O-line, and that's our main goal this week.
There has been, national former football players that get on and show the video and say, hey, this offense is predictable. Here's a problem.
Man, who said that? I honestly say it on social media.
Acho said it. So then,
guy's always got something to say. That
yes. Well, he gets paid to have something to say, right? Yeah, we all
get paid well.
Yep. So after the game, there were a couple of players who were asked about that. Lane, among other things, said that he felt like on some level the offense is too predictable. Saquon said that last year everybody knew what you were going to do and you did it anyway. Is there any validity to the idea that that it is too predictable and that is why you guys are struggling?
I don't listen. As in terms of what Lane said, you guys can ask Lane.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I'm just asking
you're
you
going to probably ask him tomorrow. Let's be real, or Thursday, if you can catch him.
I will. Yeah. Well, he doesn't really come in the locker room as much anymore.
So I'm not going to speak on Lane. However, I do think he was misinterpreted.
Okay.
I do think, what he was trying to say, and this is just how I feel, because I think Lane and I think the same way. But I'm not speaking for him. This is just what I think.
For you,
this is how I took it, was because we're not establishing the run game up front, we are putting ourselves in second and long, third and long, in easy pass down situations, because football.
Thank you. Cut that audio.
There aren't many second and long, second and 10 plus runs.
Right.
In the playbook.
On third down, you guys are averaging almost the longest third to go in the NFL. So you're constantly in 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 7s.
Yes.
And, not to finish your statement, but that is an obvious passing down. When you get 1st and 15 because of a pre-snap penalty, that's an obvious passing down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, well, then that's where we're playing catch-up ball. So if it's penalties that are killing us on the first down, or if it's an execution error, then now we're second down and long, or it's 1st and 20, 1st and 15, and now we have to play catch-up ball. We can run the ball, and now we're second. If we choose to run it on 1st and 15, we get 5 yards. That's what are we averaging right now? Probably not even 5 yards.
Not 5, yeah.
So now we're second down and 11.
Yep.
And now, there aren't many second down and 11 runs. So now you got to go to the passing game. So now what? Now we're 3rd down and 7, 3rd down and 8. This is what you just said what we're averaging. And so I think, like, for me, I think that's where it's been skewed a little bit. The Lane's comment. Where
That's
it's just,
fair. Yeah.
Where he's just talking about we're shooting ourselves in the foot, and then we're becoming predictable because we're not executing. We're not establishing the run game to help out our passing game. We're just not, because we're now in obvious passing downs. So, I mean, unless you have a trick play for 2nd and 15 or...
I do not.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't know if the shovel pass is going to do
What
that.
about Statue of Liberty, flea flicker?
What the hell is a Statue? A Statue of Liberty is a real play?
That's Kellen Moore did it in college, right? Wasn't Boise State?
Did he?
Well, he was a quarterback.
A flea flicker, I know, but the
Okay.
Statue of Liberty...
I'll show you YouTube afterwards. Those are the 2 trick plays that came to mind.
So I have a thought off the Lane comments, and then it's a question out of it. I think the reason when Lane says a lot of things, but then he says the word predictable, everybody is waiting for that word because that's what they think. So they hear him say predictable, right? They don't hear him say, I'm here with Kevin Petula until the end. It's player execution. So while I kind of hate continually asking you about Kevin Petula, it is what all the fans are talking about. In my opinion, I would be surprised if Kevin Petula came in and changed a ton in the offensive playbook and did it. So my question for you is, how different is what Kevin Petula is doing this year to what worked for you guys last year? Are you running similar plays, similar concepts, or has he changed a lot and that's why it's taking some adjusting?
As far as the run game, I'm not going to get into. I say this every
right,
time.
okay, the run game.
The concepts, I have no idea.
Yep.
And I'm not going to ask because what does me knowing the pass concepts? How's that going to help me in pass protection?
Yeah.
I've already got enough to worry about.
Well, you can log on Twitter. There's lots of videos of people that do know the pass concept.
Yeah. Stay off social media, man.
Yeah.
As in terms of the run game, nothing's changed.
So it's not he's not running vanilla plays that you didn't run last year.
That's why I'm saying it's at the end of the day, it comes down to a execution thing to the players. So now, could we run more plays? Different variety of plays, yeah, probably. Are we going to get to it? Yes. Based off our meetings this week, but I think for the majority of especially the last 6 weeks, I just think it always comes down to plays, execution.
Do you think that's why they're hesitant to call some of the more complex plays? Because of execution right now?
Execution, yep. I do believe that. That's why you just got to look in as a player. Just are you doing your job? That's it.
We will take a break and come back, talk more with Jordan. Going to find some happy stuff. We'll talk about running the Tush Push 4 straight times, which I'm sure you loved.
Everyone loved to talk about it.
Yep, everyone loved to talk about it. This is the Jordan Mailata Show. We're at Chickies and Pete's in South Philly. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Enjoy the Miller Lite Whistle to Whistle Game Day Special here at Chickies. Celebrate responsibly.
Back to the Jordan Mailata Show on Sports Radio 94 WIP.
Why do you do so much?
It is the Jordan Mailata Show. We're at Chickies and Pete's in South Philly.
Do my job.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. It's Miller time, Eagles fans. Celebrate responsibly. It must be funny for you when the team's not playing well and it sounds like everybody's mad, but then you see people in person and they're so nice. It's a relief that they love you, right?
Yeah, social media is not a real place. That's
no,
it
is not.
I keep telling my guys, stay off it, man. Protect your peace.
I try to tell myself
what I've been doing.
too. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. That's why I have no idea who we're playing. I have no idea what people are saying. I only care about what's going on in the building and my wife. That's about it.
Well, it must have a real effect. Because I know Eliot and I could tell you, at a much smaller scale, doing what we do, you could, if you look at what people are saying to you, it can have an effect on how you do your job, right?
Right.
So I imagine in the locker room, not that it's going to cause somebody to play differently, but it has to affect players who are consuming that a lot on some level, and it must be so hard to not do it.
I think what it does is it pulls your focus away, and it makes you think about, the stuff that you wouldn't like normal that the stuff that you think that wouldn't bring you down. Like now, it's like okay, now it's bringing you down because your focus has been pulled. Now you're listening to it or you've seen it and it's lingering in your head. Like, well, maybe that is true what that person is saying. And screw all that.
Well, and the worst part about it is take any. Most players, when they look at social media, I would say probably 85% of it is super positive, but it's the 15% that is negative that sticks with you, unfortunately. I think that's for everybody. You don't think so?
Yeah, I was going to say, 85% seems high for this team right now.
I was like, 85 is a little high for this team. You know?
Yeah.
You think?
Well, 2 straight losses.
Are we talking about 3-0s?
Yeah, okay.
Was it hard for you to get used to that? Because it was funny, actually. So, we're preparing to do the show. We were looking up fun facts about you, and I scrolled all the way to the bottom of your Instagram, like, see, what you used to be into. And it's interesting to watch your Instagram go from, like, a regular person to now being, like, super famous.
Yeah.
You had pictures, like, at the beginning with, like, you and your friends out drinking and stuff.
I'm holding an orange juice.
Yes, that was the exact one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's like, what a normal guy this was. But was it hard for you to go from someone that was normal on social media to like not being able to consume it and not read what people are saying? Did that take you time?
Yeah, it's taking me time. It's taking me up to this year.
Wow.
This year, this year's the first year where I'm just like, man, I'm protecting my peace. Like, I already have enough anxiety and stress in my life. I don't need to add anything else about, even like because it lingers. It does. If a player says they don't look up their name, they're lying.
I agree.
I, for one, can say. Like, I don't do that. I don't do that no more. Like, to protect my peace. That's all I care about this year.
You must be tempted at some point, right?
No.
It's sort of like drugs.
I wouldn't say it's like drugs.
It is,
I think
of.
you just kind of get fed up with it.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't take any advice or criticism. You wouldn't take criticism of somebody you wouldn't ask advice for, right?
Right, for sure.
Right?
Well,
and as cliche as that saying is, that's how I feel about the internet.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because there'll be like certain accounts that live so rent-free in my head now. Like, I think about them all the time.
See?
And I say to myself, I don't even know who this person is.
Exactly.
It may not even be what
Exactly.
they look like. But
Like, I don't know username 69
exactly.
547.
I'm writing a tweet and thinking, this
He's
person's
telling me
not
how
gonna
bad
like
I
that.
am at my job.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, you know what? He's right. I don't need you. I'm already telling myself I'm bad at my job, dude.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's got to be different, too, for you guys because it's been a long stretch of barely ever losing and getting mostly positive feedback. So it's got to be weird. I don't think you've lost 2 in a row since.
That's why I talk down to myself all the time. When we were during that stretch, I just talked down to myself.
Keep yourself humble.
I kept myself humble. I was like, dude,
positives and negatives to that.
that wasn't a good rep. Wasn't your best rep. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Oh.
4
straight tush pushes. What is that like?
My God.
Physically.
I was about to say that. I knew that's what you were doing. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That was good.
The tush push. They almost banned it.
This is good.
I just do my job.
It's a marvelous play.
It's a beautiful play. Don't know if you've ever heard. I've seen it.
Some say it's the best play.
I think he'd be pro tush push.
I think it would, but anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
move
got
on.
on the sidetracked. Yeah, that was fun. I'll be honest. It was kind of just like probably the only 4 plays I really executed at a high rate during that game. But man, it was fun. It was fun just seeing the pain in their eyes of
doing it
this
again.
is not a football play, and I'm sitting here like, well, that's too damn bad.
It is being played in a football game.
Run it again. Yeah, let's run it again. Run it again. And you can see on the third one, it broke them on the third one.
Oh, really? That's when you felt it?
They were like, man, this is some bull. This is some bull. And the fourth one, thank God.
Really
thank God
not
we got
happy.
it in. Oh, my God. I don't know, just go left. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, obviously it sparks a lot of reaction, right, in terms of people not happy running it 4 straight times. Do you guys – I mean, maybe you don't see it. Yeah, I was going to say
were
people
unhappy?
People online were, if they're people, I don't know. But, like, Charles Woodson, like, former players talked about it. Do you guys just laugh about it at this point?
Yeah, we do. We do. That's all you can do. I'm telling you, that's all you can do. That's why staying on social media is the best thing, man. Best thing ever. I did not know all these people who were saying all these things. I'm just like, man, it's a football play. I would just love for people to run it themselves and, they be the judge.
Well,
jury,
other teams
and
have tried.
executioner.
This certainly would feel more like football than anything we do in regular life.
Yes.
I can tell you that.
I couldn't do it 4 straight times. I'll tell you that much.
No? That's shocker,
Tush,
Eliot. Yeah.
Well, if I was like Devontae, maybe.
You're right.
Yeah.
There's your answer. You just got to find players that can do it.
Yeah.
Everyone can do it. Right?
Besides the
Everyone
other
can.
31 teams.
They
Yeah.
could. They can. They can.
Yeah.
They can.
We saw a report last week that you, from one of our coworkers, Ashlyn Sullivan, that you and some other leaders on the team had approached Coach Sirianni about not having Victory Monday anymore because you guys didn't think you were playing well enough. Who was involved in that?
I didn't see that report.
You didn't?
I
Did
didn't
you
get that
dispute
memo.
it?
I didn't get that memo. That wasn't my. I wasn't part of that.
You weren't.
I wasn't a part of that.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Is Victory
Okay.
Monday still a thing? Well, I guess
What?
maybe yeah.
We never. I didn't.
Sorry, yeah,
this
good
is the
point.
thing. We
Good
never
point. I
got.
guess we'll find out.
We
Hopefully
never got
this-
Victory Monday. That's the thing that I
Oh,
was
really?
like, where did that report come from? We came in the only
Every-
game that we didn't was this past Friday. Was a
Okay.
Thursday night. That's the only time we didn't
yeah,
go
you
in.
said you
Of
go
the
in-
last six,
you have meetings
We
on
always
Mondays.
go in the day after the game.
Okay.
So there's been no change.
There's been no change. So I don't know where this committee came from about the Victory Mondays.
well, we're
Sorry, Ashlyn.
We're all-
I didn't know who your
We're Team
source is.
Ashland.
Yeah, we're Team Ashland.
But yeah,
I'm Team Ashland too. I'm
Yeah.
Team Ashland. I just didn't know, like, if that report is saying Victory Mondays, it is incorrect because we've been in the building for every single Monday post game. Like every day after the game, we have been in.
Did you ask not to have Tuesdays off?
Tuesday's mandatory.
Okay.
It's probably
So there's
it
no
might-
truth to it.
what about Wednesday?
it might
Yeah.
be the Wednesday. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might be the Wednesday.
Well, Wednesday you're definitely there because I'm
Wednesdays we're there, but it's
Yeah.
it's like that modified thing that we got going on.
there. Did you talk to Nick about a change in the schedule?
I have not.
You have
personally.
not. Okay.
Like I said, I was being truthful. I was not part of that memo. I didn't know there was a report going on. I just had to, fact check everyone real quick.
What's Nick been like during this?
Composed.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
I was going to say I don't know if many
Believe it
people
or
would
not,
use that
he's
word.
composed, man. He's been our crutch. Been our crutch.
You must have seen, at least to my eye, we have seen the evolution of him in terms of how he speaks in interviews, how he's on the, when he does press conferences. He seems like he has evolved quite a bit from when he started here.
Yeah.
I imagine you've seen that as well.
I think we both have.
Yeah.
We both have come a long way, and so proud of Coach. Just the way he's able to, lead us and always bring us back to the point of tough detail together. Those are our 3 core values. Very simple. Don't have to explain it. They're pretty simple, and any time where he feels like the temperature is drifting one way or another, we bring it right back and snaps us back in right away. And he does a great job with that, man. Does a great job of just knowing the locker room and when to. Oh, and even like the messages, his messages, the message of the week. It's always on point. It's always something that I need to hear week to week.
I do find it convincing is the wrong word. A lot of times when teams aren't playing well, you will hear players talk about coaching. Like, it doesn't seem like players have any problem talking about coaching that they don't like. Whereas you guys, to a man almost, even during the wins when you didn't play as well as maybe you would have liked, and during the losses, it seems like everybody seems behind the coach, and it's not usually what happens when teams aren't playing well. I think it speaks to him.
The culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's massive on culture, and I think what he's done to establish that, but allow us to get that space to lead as veterans in that locker room, giving us that space, and with him, coming into that room or coming into the locker room when he needs to, and when he does, I think it's a reason why the culture's always been a part of Philadelphia. They just have always had the guys, but I think Nick's done a great job of just navigating and creating that culture locker room where accountability and the for each other part, stick up for one another, because I don't. You guys don't know our scheme. That's why I always say I look to the players first, and I always look to me, then the players. I think it's just an execution thing right now, and I'm excited. I can't wait for us to be clicking on all cylinders.
Well, and what's impressive to me about it is, like, I'm at the media scrums. I hear all the questions that are asked. It would be so easy for you guys to blame the coaching if you wanted. I mean, you must get, not you personally, but I'm saying the players, when the locker room's open, I don't know, 30 questions about how it's maybe Patullo or predictable, and no one's broken any of you. It is, to Spike's point, everyone is very complimentary of Patullo. I do think the accountability, because you guys are basically begging people to be like, hey, it's us, and nobody will listen, right? But
we get paid pretty well. I'm not gonna lie.
do, yeah. not Acho money, but it's close.
Man.
But I mean, the accountability is impressive.
No, for real. It's just, again, a big culture thing. But even the players know it. Like, when are people just going to stop blaming players?
Mm-hmm. We will take one final break, come back with more with Jordan, look ahead to Sunday's game against the Vikings. Maybe that's the first time he has heard. They're playing the Vikings on Sunday. The Jordan Mailata Show is brought to you by Miller Lite. Enjoy the Miller Lite Whistle the Whistle. Game day special here at Chickies. Celebrate responsibly. It's the Jordan Mailata Show, Chickies and Pete's in South Philly. Brought to you by Miller Lite. It's Miller Time, Eagles fans. Celebrate responsibly. I'm Spike Eskin, Eliot, Shorr-Parks, and Jordan Mailata. So you guys, from Thursday night's game until Monday, you were off? You were off Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had off.
So what do you do to – I know what I do to check out when I don't want to think about anything else. I'll go to the movies because then I'm forced to not look at my phone, I like being in the movies. What do you do?
He'll go by himself, too.
I will go to the movies by myself.
Yeah.
It's a good experience. Well, once the movie starts, who cares if there's somebody sitting next to you, right?
That's fair.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I'm a talker during movies, though. I like to lean over and
brutal.
say to my wife, like, oh, look at this funny comment I have.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't go to the movies anymore.
Yeah.
She's
What do you
sick of that.
What do you do to check out?
I did nothing.
Really?
Yeah, just kind of.
And you're able to check out, like, mentally?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, did nothing. Was
God
on the
bless
couch,
you.
Spent time with my wife. Went and bought a Lazy Boy
Oh, there you go.
shirt. Yeah, that's about it, really.
You watching anything good on TV right now? Like, what are you guys binging?
We are watching Task.
Everybody's watching that.
Yeah.
My wife suggested that probably on Saturday night, and I declined. I said, I don't want to watch this. And then next thing you know, last night, we started watching it, and I was hooked.
It's good,
I was
right?
like, oh. The accent's on point, too.
Yeah, I've heard. My wife doesn't want to watch
hilarious.
it. She won't watch it.
My wife likes it more than I do. I think it's very good, but she's super into it.
It's hilarious. It's good. So watching that.
I always think with the accents, like, you have an Australian accent. Like, that
It's a little bit of a, I don't know,
am I wrong about
kind of like a fusion.
Okay.
A fusion of what?
Fusion of like Australian, Samoan, New Zealand. Just everywhere I've been. And sometimes now it's like American.
Well, so that's what I was going to ask. Like,
fusion.
you have a recognizable accent. Do you think people in Australia or wherever, like, watch Task and are like, oh, there's that Philly accent?
Yeah, that's because ignorance is bliss, and they probably do.
Yeah,
they probably do. Yeah, they probably say that about me when they hear my accent. They're like, "Oh, that's an Australian accent. He's so Americanized now," which they do that.
Oh, really?
That is
your
a shock.
accent?
It's because I don't sound fully Australian anymore, and I'm okay with that. You know what? Hey, USA, baby, come on.
You can pick up the Delco accent.
No thanks. Anyway,
even swap.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
yeah.
I do a Sixers podcast, and we have a lot of Australian listeners. What I've noticed is Australians, a lot of profanity, like the hard profanity, more than Americans. And Americans curse a lot, but
no, you don't.
Not compared to Australia.
You don't curse a lot.
Yeah, like the ones that you would even not want to say off air. Yeah, some of those.
But even just like the F word. Like it's every second word, you know? So, like, Australians, they're a little mental.
Is it like that on TV and radio over
there? They
there?
don't do that. They're very well-mannered on TV.
Okay.
Radio, they'll let it slip sometimes. Like the host.
Or you.
Because it's the culture.
Yeah.
Oh, me. That's where I get on, you know.
You've been better at it.
I've been really good.
You have been.
Been really good.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that recognition. I needed that.
No problem. Seems like you need positive feedback right
Yeah.
now. So
you're the best.
You've been executing great on it.
Yeah.
No, you're lying to me. Now you're lying to me.
Vikings on Sunday. It's a dome. How loud are domes, and how much more difficult is that for you compared to other stadiums?
I'll be honest. I've actually never played in Minnesota.
Right.
Didn't travel that year in 2019.
Okay.
I was on IR, so yeah, I didn't travel in 2019. So that was the only time they've played in the last 8 years that I've been here.
Domes in general?
Well, no, just against Minnesota.
Yeah.
But in domes are pretty loud, very loud because of the roof, the enclosement,
Yep.
or whatever that's called, just bouncing off the walls, and the noise got to go somewhere. So it usually just goes back down to the floor. So it's pretty loud. Looking very excited for that. Communication, it's going to have to be an all-time high. Well, this week.
The getting to the line thing,
Yeah.
you brought up, is
It's an underrated part of the game that nobody realizes how crucial that is.
well, you were the first person to bring it up, and we paid attention to it. Now, when I asked you about it before, you said it's a little bit of everything about why you're not doing it. But it seems like there must be one part of it that is holding you guys up, and I'm trying to find out what that thing is. Like, what is it? Why can't you guys
Every
do it?
play is different.
Well, of course every play is
Every
different.
play is different. Every huddle is different.
Okay.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to have more consistency. Of
Okay.
If it's on the ball, it's on the ball, and if it's the huddle, we need to, hurry up and get the huddle in.
Yep.
Not just walk back. That's for all players. That's just the offense as a whole. Like sometimes it could be the play call coming in, and sometimes Jay not hearing it, so we have to step out the huddle to signal it to come again, and we get it again, and then just saying it again, break the huddle, and then there's that aspect of the game, and then there's when we get to the line, sometimes we do a good job as an offensive line to get to the line, get set, but now we're making the call, and like Jalen, we forget that Jalen has motions that he's got to signal, to get guys from 2x2 to 3x1, or the other way around, 3x1 to 2x2, and so there's that aspect of the game, and then there's us making our points so we know who we're combination blocking to, who we're working with, if it's the tight end or if it's the guard or the center and the guard or the center and the right guard. So that's why I say it's like multifaceted, but we all contribute to it somehow, and it's just something that we're continuously working on by just simulating it. Literally just huddle. Maybe we cut down the clock this week just to make it super hard on ourselves.
Do you feel like you're making progress in it?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Doesn't look like it, but I think we've made steps into the right direction. We've made improvements in some of the way that we run to the ball, especially the no huddle offense is where we're money at right now.
Yeah. Why do you think? Is it easier to execute? What do you think why do you think you've been
just go on the ball
successful
and just react, make a call, live with it, and play on. And usually when you get the defense in the heels like that, we get like something vanilla, just like a basic call just to try and stop the run or stop whatever it is. And so you can catch them off guard when you go on the ball with that no huddle offense.
It's funny that everyone wants things to be more complicated, but the thing that has the simplest part is the thing that seems to be working.
Yeah. I believe Chip Kelly had that offense.
He did.
Was that his?
Yeah, Chip. There was one. We were all very excited for Chip, and the first game of Chip, when it was the Redskins, right?
Yeah.
We're faking injuries because they couldn't keep up.
Oh, that was
with
a big
how fast
thing,
it was going.
Until the player was at the hospital, people would not acknowledge he was maybe really hurt.
And for
It would be like, he's not hurt.
I have to say, for about 3 or 4 games, we thought that it was a football revolution.
It was unbelievable.
That we were seeing. It was a very exciting 3 months.
You've never seen anything like it.
It was incredible.
Dude, they ran like 80 plays the first game or something absurd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And they weren't all tush pushes. They were actually.
No.
Well, he was his
No.
whole thing was simplifying it too.
Yeah.
The Chip Kelly offense was pretty simple. It was just about math.
Run left, run right,
Yeah.
pass right,
Yeah.
pass left.
Yeah.
Kevin Petula would have loved it. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding.
What do you mean? We're doing that right now.
I know. Yeah, that was a wild time.
Is it you guys have had trouble running the ball all year and generally.
Yeah.
How hard is it for you to keep away the thoughts of maybe we're just not going to be able to do it as well as we had hoped this year? Is that difficult?
No, that's not difficult at all.
Okay.
Every week is a new week, man. To
Okay.
go out there and prove it again. That we're a dominant offensive line, and I think that's the beauty of the sport is you take it week by week, game by game, and every game it presents new challenges. And if you don't do good that week, all right, next week's the next week. You could keep working on it and what you need to work on, and the rest will take care of itself. If you're not performing, you're not going to play. Simple as that, right? But I just think it starts up front. We need to establish a run game, and when I think about like combination blocks that Landon and I would destroy people, just absolutely maul people. And man, I think I can count just on both hands the last 6 games how many times we've hit it, where we've had like an actual 3-tech, and we've actually taken that guy and we've taken him downfield like we usually do. And I don't think teams just won't give us that. So
Well, hopefully we'll be back here next week at the same time. We will be. Hopefully our first question is, man, how are you guys so good?
How was having Victory Monday off?
Yeah.
Victory Monday.
Yeah.
What'd you do on your day off today? That's the first question.
Yep.
you should ask.
Yeah.
We
First
appreciate you doing it with us.
Appreciate it, man.
And good luck on Sunday.
Appreciate it.
And we will see you next week. The Players Lounge is next with Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Eliot, and this week's guest is Cam Jurgens. This has been the Jordan Mailata Show, presented by Miller Lite. Enjoy the Miller Lite Whistle to Whistle Game Day special here at Chickies and Pete's. Please celebrate responsibly.